Have you ever been through a storm so bad that you thought for sure you were gone? Nah, die. Well, the Apostle Paul was in a storm so bad that his ship actually broke in half, but he survived, and so did everyone else. And he even went on to do miracles on the island of Malta. You won't want to miss this episode of the Bible in a minute. We left off with Paul and his friends sailing from Sicily to their next stop on their way to Rome. But as they approached the coast of Malta, a violent windstorm wrecked the ship, and Acts 27 tells us that the ship began to be broken into pieces. And so it was that we, that is Paul and his companions, being in the very jaws of death, cried out to God. And he did hear us, and sent us a messenger. Who was that messenger? An angel, the same angel that had previously appeared to Paul in a dream, telling him that an angel would come to him in the night and deliver him from the shipwreck. And lo, while it was now dark and the ship was being dashed against the rocks, the angel of God came into the ship and stood by Paul and said, "Do not be afraid, Paul. You must testify before Caesar. So take heart, for God has given you all who sail with you." And after saying this, the angel departed. Then there came in from the ship a great wave, and it all to pieces. But happily everyone survived. And when the soldiers had gathered all the ship's wreckage and landed it on the island, they found out that the ship was full of figs. Figs were a special delicacy of the island, so the locals took the figs and left. But what happened to Paul? I don't know exactly what happened, but we do know that he stayed on the island for 3 months. And during that time, Acts 28 tells us that he healed the father of Publius, the governor of the island, who had been very hospitable to him and his company. In fact, the entire island welcomed Paul because he showed them signs and performed miracles. And so the people of the island, when they saw what had happened, called out, "The gods have become like men." And when this was done, Paul shook his garment and said, "It is not the gods that I am serving. Rather, I am declaring to you the true God who made the heaven and the earth and sea and everything that is in them." So what can we learn from this? The storms can lead to divine appointments. In fact, this is one of the ways that God often works, especially when things don't look good. But in the midst of the bad, he can bring good out of it, as he did for Paul, and for those who heard the gospel because of Paul's shipwreck. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Bible in a Minute. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And until next time, thanks for watching.